Now it's becoming evident that this store is closing. In fact, when you go on this side, the PetSmart side here at Whitney Field in Leominster, Massachusetts, you can see, I get ahead of myself all the time. Giant store closing signs on the fence. Anyway, let's see what it's like right after the new year, January 2nd, 2020. Like last time, we are starting inside the mall, but this time off to the side. And again, we try our best not to get people, even though it is a public domain area and nothing stating that photo video isn't allowed. But we take out the audio anyway because of the music. Anyway, up front, it doesn't really look all that much worse for wear, but as soon as we go in, it's going to get more evident. I also try to maneuver so that employees don't see what's going on, although some of them did and they didn't seem to care much. Here we go, Land's End, we got a fairly large empty void. When I walked through on my own Christmas Eve, this still had a lot of stuff in it. And some children's clothes there. Again, the big empty void, and more empty voids at Land's End, which apparently now was part of the whole closure thing. So now we're just gonna walk into the back of the Land's End section at Men's and take a look at all the emptiness and the fixturing. The coat hangers are not for sale. Very odd. Fixtures are for sale, not so much the coat hangers. Find that a bit interesting that they're not going to be selling those. We are roughly taking the same path as we did before. And over there was an employee, the first one that you saw, and that one. Again, looking over to see what's there. And again, this was originally the kids' clothing section, and as you can see, it's all been moved more towards front and center. We are at the 20 to 70% point. So sometime next month, February 2020, yeah, I'm gonna screw the year up. Anyway, February 2020, at some point, will be its final days, and I gotta, of course, come through every once in a while and make sure that I hit it on the second to last day, because if I can't get here in a timely fashion on the last day, then you don't get a final video. Get it on the second to last day, you're pretty much guaranteed to get at least something if you are allowed. So, got some mannequin bottoms and a full male mannequin. Partial mannequins here. This is where... That's where, you know what? It's been a while. I don't remember what was on that in this particular area initially. But I do remember here, past that wall, after looking at these fixtures, I do remember that this was the small appliance area. Especially there. And over there. So again, we're looking more at the barrenness and fixtures for sale, if some of these haven't been sold already. Again, some maneuvering is to try to not get people, as well as the attention of the employees. But like I said, a couple of them have actually seen me going around. They pretty much figured out what I was doing and didn't seem to mind. I think they pretty much get the gist of how this stuff works. without a head, the female mannequin for $100 at time of posting. Again, small appliance area, pretty much empty. Now it's becoming more bedroom ensembles and bathroom accessories. Again, it's getting pretty empty. The middle part when I was here Christmas Eve was pretty bare, but now it's definitely a lot worse than what it was. And we see some bedding and accessories. It's a little more haphazardly displayed at this point in time. You'll definitely see that in the Craftsman area, where they actually took the toy department and moved it into where the Craftsman tools were. Kind of an odd choice to move it to that position, but it's near an entry, so I guess that was the thing to do. Yeah, an employee saw me recording this part, but like I said, they didn't seem to mind. They didn't seem to care. And this time you could see the water drop. They apparently fixed the other leak that was in the Craftsman area, so they're still maintaining the building where they can, at least for now. Whether that'll still be there the next time I come in, I don't know. But the other leak definitely was gone. Things are going to start to get a little more challenging as we're heading into the Kenmore appliance area, which has, well, the original area is still pretty much as it was, but they're throwing the few small appliances in where the major appliances were. You can also see that now the display area is outside of a couple of ovens and some dishwashers is pretty empty at this point. Again, the Kenmore area, still quite a bit, but you can definitely see that there's holes in the floor. And the mattress area is now being taken over by area rugs, which was not a thing in the original Sears, at least here at Whitney Field. And here's where the Christmas decorations were. Vacuums, what's left, and apparently putting greens, indoor putting greens. Again, not sure that was a thing here at this particular Sears. And again, we're taking a look at the big, empty vastness that is ultimately going to become its demise. Now I'm using a flip cam, so everything looks a little zoomed in, so looking at the vast expanse, that's just amazing. Unfortunately, it's amazing. Have no idea what that is, but it's on sale. They still have some Craftsman grills and Kenmore appliances and what have not around. Again, we got the area rugs. Again, trying not to get a couple of customers that were right there. And I don't want a nice clear shot. Some utensils, and then some random stuff there. Couple of patio sets. And over to Craftsman tools. But again, we look over at the expanse of nothingness. And there's very few tools left. They're pretty much piling them in one section, but now as you can see, they've pretty much moved everything along, so there's a lot of empty shelves here. There was a concave, or should I say convex mirror that was in the corner, and I was hoping when I moved around that I would be able to get a nice shot of a lot of empty shelves, but that didn't really pan out. Workbenches. And then we got a storage shed here. Had to move around a little bit because of all the reflections I were getting. 40% off, $380. Now this area got a little tricky because they actually moved toys here to the Craftsman aisle, and then this just looks like it's thrown around. So you got automotive parts on the right, pretty much thrown around, some other random stuff, some fixturing, more empty shelves, just car parts stacked everywhere. More Kenmore appliances there in the terms of grills. More empty voids. And then this got a little difficult because there was a shopper and kids around, so we avoided it for that particular time. But here's the toy department, what's left of it, inside the Craftsman area. Now we peek around slowly to make sure that the kids were gone, and they were. And then look around, and then come around the other side and just slowly pan the shelves. But then the one person that was there decided to leave, so yeah, we tried. Like I said, it's public domain, so anyway, like I said, we try not to get people, but again, public domain. We got what's left of the Christmas stuff and more Christmas stuff there. And we aimed down to look at the stuff that were on the lower shelves. Again, back to the sparseness that used to be home fitness. A few weights, literally a few weights, and a plate version. And this is where the Christmas stuff was. Just some randomly placed microwaves. And again, we're looking at the area rugs, which I never again recalled being a thing at this particular Sears. I think they just take them from another Sears and drop them off. Now we're heading to the men's, women's clothing, and jewelry. This got a little more difficult. It's not really looking all that much more bare, but in spots it definitely is starting to show. So again, trying to give you the idea of how things are. And like I said, they're just shoving things more towards the doors now. So a lot of clothing still around, but you definitely notice that it's emptying out in the cubby holes where the jeans were. You got the Lees and Levi's, which don't exist. And again, facing an entry. Now making our way towards women's. I can see that the summer clothes have definitely thinned out. Shoe department is starting to thin out. In the ladies section, not much has really changed there. It's still quite busy, as well as ladies' undergarments. Still a lot of sunglasses to choose from. And then we get to the jewelry department, and that definitely is showing that the selection is getting a bit scarce, especially here, the watch bands. That's all there is. And then this side's entirely empty, and they're trying to sell the jewelry cases. At this point, we've pretty much made a lap around the building. And at this point, we get to where people are being served for their jewelry needs. And that's pretty much it right there. Women's area doesn't look all too much different, and here we are coming out into Whitney Field. So that's the state of Sears, Mall of Whitney Field, Leominster, Mass, January 2nd, 2020. One thing I also did check out but did not post because it wasn't really necessary was the condition of the restroom, which is still in pretty good condition. Some trash lying around here and there, but that's kind of a typical thing in a department store restroom. It's still in good shape. It still has the leaky sink with the bucket under it. Nothing really to report there, so I didn't shoot a video of it. It was shot in the first episode of this series. That was all we had to show you. Georgia551 saying hope you enjoyed and have a good one.